Welcome to day 9 of our European road trip. Today we drive from northern Bavaria towards the Bavarian Alps, and in less than 6 hours, a perfect day turns into a complete camping nightmare. If you're new to the channel, for the past 9 days we've been car camping across Europe after starting our journey from our home in Scotland. So far we've been road tripping through England, France, Belgium, Holland and Germany, sleeping in our Tesla Model Y. Join us as we begin day 9 in a busy German campsite before setting off to explore one of Germany's most beautiful towns. Waking up inside your car is a strange experience. And with the glass roof and the Tesla Model Y, you know exactly what it's like outside before you've set foot out of bed. But there's nothing better than waking up and stepping out into the sunshine. Because even though we're over 1,000 miles from home, we have a new home. A home on wheels which allows us to enjoy the peaceful moments like this. And since we'd never been camping before, it was still a completely new world for us. Your morning rituals remain the same, but how you carry them out changes. But it's amazing how you can easily adapt. Slowly but surely, we were starting to settle into the camping way of life. And this new form of travel was quickly stealing our hearts. Camping in Bamberg, we just paid €30, albeit we weren't here for the full day and night, but that was for me and Rebecca, the car, the tent. We didn't use electricity, so I think that might have reduced the price. Yeah, €30, what a steal. So we're now heading to Bamberg, finally. €30, can't believe it, that is fantastic. I really thought that because of the location, because we're literally a 13-minute drive from the centre of Bamberg. You know, you've got bike tracks and everything heading to it, you know, super busy. I thought we were going to be more than €30, but €30 I'm more than happy with that. Fantastic, can't complain. Basic hotel room would be €100 even more for the night, so really can't complain. Great facilities, really clean, everyone's dead friendly, super busy, but a lot of people are leaving just now. I think it's Camping Insel, yeah, Camping Insel Bamberg. I think Insel means island, so it's a little camping island next to Bamberg, just in a little town called Bug, which I thought was quite funny. So it was really interesting actually last night, once we'd got set up, just, you know, the midges actually reminded us of Scotland. The midges just descended upon us once the sun had gone down, and we were not cut out, even though we live in Scotland, we're still not cut out for the midges. So we decided to head into the tent, put our seats up there, pitch up there, and have a wee drink and just relax. And it was really interesting. Rebecca made a comment, it felt like we were in a zoo. We were the animals, and everyone was just walking by or cycling by and having a wee look. And but I guess that's just the camping life. This is our 4th camping site, so still getting used to it. So I guess that is just what it's like. This is probably the biggest site that we've been to so far, so it's understandable that it's a wee bit different, but just so cool seeing everyone's different setups. Everyone's got, you know, just slightly different, you know, little quirks, little unique setups. You know, there was like a camper van that had a Vespa scooter attached to the back of it, and yeah, it's just loads of really cool little quirks that you notice with everyone's setup. So it's just really nice, it's just really refreshing. You know, it's nice to stay in a hotel room or an apartment, but I really like this. I really like this way of seeing places. So we are going to Bamberg, then we're going to try and go to Rothenburg ob der Tauber. I probably just butchered that name, but little cute village. And then we're going to head south towards the Alps, and hopefully we can get parked up at a campsite just outside, I think it's called Alpspitz mountain. There's There's a funny mountain named down there as well. I'm not going to say it, but it's quite funny. Gave the child in me a good laugh. But yeah, we're going to go down, hopefully get a spot there, and maybe I think we'll try and camp there for 2 nights, and then we'll go and see Innsbruck at some point, and then there's more to come. So yeah, we're having fun and we're looking forward to seeing Bamberg. Very much looking forward to see Bamberg. And I think we've adjusted fairly well coming out of city life to camp life. You know, we're just transitioning smoothly, as smoothly as possible, considering that we're driving, you know, quite far just now. So I'm looking forward to us getting down to the Alps, and we won't be driving as far between campsites, so we're going to be able to soak it in a bit more. But amazing weather, can't complain. It's really sunny, warm, it's beautiful, it's great vibes. So yeah, happy camping. This is the old Bavarian town of Bamberg, a picture-perfect location which transports you back in time as you walk the cobbled, narrow streets. You might have seen photos of the famous mural town hall, which sits on a tiny island accessible only via the many pedestrian bridges. We took our time to wander around the centre and soak up the sunshine. Its medieval streets and buildings have a long history, all of which I won't cover now, but it's worth checking out in your own time. In the 12th century, the town for a brief moment was the centre of the Holy Roman Empire, and played a key role in the years following both the Great War and the Second World War. Now, it's visited by thousands of tourists like us, and should have a place on your travel bucket list if you ever visit the region of Bavaria. But as the hours passed by, we became increasingly aware we had nowhere to sleep for the night. So it was time to get back on the road and continue our journey south as we head towards the Bavarian Alps, in hopes we would find a campsite with availability during the busiest season of the year.
I think a lot of them are going to be just show up.
Yeah, I think so. So we're in Greding, on our way down to München or Munich. We are just charging up. It's the fastest speed I've seen yet, got up to 213 kilowatts, so it should charge pretty quick. We're just going to take a wee pit stop. We're having a little bit of difficulty finding a campsite, so the one we called previously, who told us to put in a booking form, emailed us back saying they actually don't have any spaces, even though they said that they did. And we've contacted some other really lovely places that we found, and again they're all saying that they're full. Makes sense, it's a high season, so it's the busy season, holiday season here, and we're heading down to the Alps, so it's obviously a very busy destination. We're just hit a dead end, so hopefully we will find somewhere. Rebecca is doing the research while I drive. Hopefully we can get a campsite. I think it's just going to be a case of showing up to places and just seeing if they have availability, and worst case scenario, we're just going to have to sleep in the car. Maybe there'll be a hotel or somewhere like that, but it'd be really nice to camp. So hopefully we can get a campsite. We're just heading to McDonald's. McDonald's has stole our heart yesterday with those nuggets. So heading to McDonald's now. We're going to fuel up and continue the journey. It's absolutely beautiful weather here. This is exactly what we wanted. Germany is so beautiful, so gorgeous. It was amazing seeing Bamberg today. Unfortunately, we just don't have the time to go to Rothenburg ob der Tauber. I think that's how you say it. So we'll add it to the bucket list for next time. But yeah, Germany is wunderbar. So we just stopped off to charge up just before we get to a campsite outside Füssen, I think it's called. But that was really interesting. We just went into this place, Fristo Getrankemarkt. Basically a market that just sells drinks. alcohol and water and juice. I noticed when we were in Berlin, there was a lot of people using these machines when we were in the Ruhr supermarket, and they put cans and bottles into the machine and they get money. And so I went in there and I saw a guy was doing it, and I asked him, you know, can we bring it? We've got cans. And he says, so long as it has a certain label on it, you can do that. So basically you take in your cans, you're recycling, and they recycle it for you, and then they give you a ticket, and with that ticket you get a certain amount of money. It's not cash, obviously, it's a ticket, and you can use that as like a coupon in the store. So that's what we just did. We actually, for I think it was 3 cans and 1 plastic bottle, we got €1.15. So I thought, it's not bad. So we're just gonna head to Aldi now, grab some supplies before we get to the campsite, and hopefully we can actually get a spot. It is roasting here. So we're just in Aldi now, and I just spotted these are the recycling stations that they have, so we could have used them in here as well. So it's the little symbol that you're looking for in your bottle or your can, and you can recycle them, and then you'll be able to spend money at Aldi. Rebecca's about to slice bread with a machine you've never seen before.
Yeah, that
It's a lot cheaper to get these, right? This is the slicing machine. Let's see. Place your bread in, and then shut the door, and then press how many slices you want it, thinly sliced, or yeah. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why do we not have this at home? Is it working well? Wow. Well, not in Austria. Southern Germany, Bavaria.
looks like it. Looks like Austria. Looks like Austria,
How
baby.
would you know you've not been?
I've actually drawn quite a few images from Pinterest in Austria. I'll have you know.
We're heading to the Alps. We're just outside the Alps. We're heading in that direction, and there's thunder and lightning. It's all up ahead, Rebecca. Wait now, we'll be coming through it. The trees are blowing. The wind's picking up. In 7 minutes we're going to arrive at the campsite. Hopefully we actually have a spot. Look, film up here.
It's dirty.
This is where it's okay. There it goes. You can't even see the Alps fully because of the clouds and the rain.
The birds are leaving.
Yeah, the birds are going, and the birds are flying away, and we're going heading straight into it. This is going to be an experience.
Into the belly of the beast.
My God. Well, we certainly remember the first time we ever went to the Alps.
Oh, it looks awful.
What a difference.
Can we go back to
Back to Berlin, back to Bamberg. We're surrounded by thunder and lightning. Good Lord.
We're gonna have to maybe move their cables, like.
Why? Oh, because we can't park on their cable, like set up a tent on their cables. It depends how long they're here for. I can't even see. Let's try to see the little dog in there. Well, that was unexpected. So we're currently at what's this place called? Camping. Let me just check here. Via Claudia Camping Leekbroek am See. I think that's what it's called. So yeah, we're right next to a lake, and we're caught in a thunderstorm. super busy. Everyone's coming here to camp, obviously. We've seen so many campers and people on the road, so it's obviously because it's the high season. We're just totally new to this. We're fish out of water. So he basically just told us to go see if you can find a spot, which we have been able to, and then come back and tell him that we've managed to get set up and he can check us in. Currently, as you can see, it's absolutely lashing it down. So we're gonna wait for these clouds to pass. Hopefully it won't take too long and then we can get set up. It's currently 5:30, so that's not too bad. 5:30 p.m. We showed up to some campsites really late, so it's not a bother. It doesn't bother us having to set up later on in the day, and I think we're most likely going to stay here for 2 nights, I think, if it looks good. It's very busy though. We're right next to some bikers here, it seems, have set up their camp. A lot of rubbish. It's the first I've seen of that, so don't know how.
It's maybe just because people have had to run in.
Yeah,
because of the rain.
they've maybe had to do a quick dash, but I'm wishing that we'd brought an extension wheel, like an outdoor extension wheel for power, because I don't know.
We don't need it though. We've got a battery.
But we need sun for it. But
yeah, but we only need it for when we need it. Currently, we don't need it. We've got an electric car, charge our phones. Like, we don't need.
Yeah, you're right in that sense. Yeah, we only need electricity really to cook, and even at that, we don't need it because
we don't need to cook.
We can use the Jackery power big battery that we haven't even used yet.
So let's just leave it. And
so yeah, we'll just see how it goes. We'll just play it by ear. But what an experience! Definitely a different landscape down here. As we're like driving towards the Alps. I don't know if you would quite class this the Alps. I don't know if we're close enough yet, but we're certainly in that area, southern Germany, Bavaria area. Totally different landscape, different style of buildings, the old wooden like huts or sheds at the farms. Lots more livestock as well. We saw goats, lots of sheep, lots of cows, and more lightning. So this is the first we've had weather like this in Europe. It's not been as bad as this, but it makes sense. We're at the Alps. That's what's going to happen. And hopefully it clears up, even if it's just for tomorrow, and we can actually get to see it and maybe even get a swim in the lake or rent some paddle boards if they do that. We'll wait and see. But yeah, this is the campsite. And we are currently, so we went to reception here, and we are currently in Zeltweis 1. I don't know what that means, but so I'll just get a quick shot. You can't see it because of the rain really, but there's mountains through in the horizon over there, and it looks much nicer over there, but where we are, it's not looking so good. Thankfully, the storm finally passed, and this was our view from our home on wheels, which made the stress of finding a campsite completely worthwhile. And we took some time to relax, sit back, and enjoy the breathtaking scenery as day turned to dusk. But on the next episode, our camping nightmares are far from over, as a perfect sunny day paddleboarding on the lake soon turns into complete disaster. You're fine, you're okay.
there's a metal peg on our
roof. Where's it came from?
I have no idea.
A big one? That is the crack on the glass. Thanks for watching, we'll see you on the next one.